So,
Bring it on.
let's go ahead and talk about the gaming news. You mentioned that a certain shop, maybe put an E on it, Eshop, is shutting down on the Wii U and the 3DS. It is planned to be fully shut down in 2023. I think March 2023, I think they said. And
Correct.
that is on the way there. It's going to be more difficult to get the games that you want. Not so much of disappearing until until 23. It's going to get harder starting in May how you can buy these games. Kind of like right now with PlayStation, which I had to get Legend Dragoon, is I had to put money in my PS4 account, then turn on my PS3 and use my account to buy the game I want, or you can go get a gift card and then put it in there.
Yeah. It's like, wait, why are you making it harder to give money? So, as you so astutely alluded to, oh lordy, Wii U and the 3DS eShop are closing, 2023. But that's not all that has people up in arms. They are removing the ability to just add funds directly with your credit card in May, which means the only way you could add funds would be to go buy Nintendo eShop cards and redeem them. Mm-hmm. Which, big whoop, just go do it. But it removes the convenience of just sitting at home and just say, okay, I want this. Let me go ahead and add like $100 and buy them. Now you have to go to a store or order it online. I want these eShop cards, and then enter in a code and all that. So there's the overreacting camps, the usual, and then there's the logical worry of Nintendo's done this before, they're going to do it again, and Nintendo's tone deaf, which they quickly pulled their response of, we don't have to justify, we have no plans of moving any of this other stuff in the future, use the Nintendo Switch shop.
Yeah. Also on top of that, there is about over 1,000 games, they said, that will disappear forever per se, that are not being ported or going anywhere else, unless, some of them you're going to have to find the legal way, maybe with the ROMs. Some of them might be maybe coming back in a different way on the Switch, but they're not there yet. Because like if you didn't manage to get any of the 3D Mario games or the 3D classic game that came out on the Switch, that's the only secondary place that you can get, like Mario 64, Mario Galaxy.
Yep.
I don't think Sunshine's on that list.
On
the Wii U.
On the Wii U, no GameCube games were digitally.
No, the only ones you can get there is the DS and the Wii. So, did this trap you? Did this get you to immediately go there and start buying stuff before they disappear? Did you end up going to do that?
I lazy, so I didn't plug in my Wii U to do that. But I did. I do have. Actually, I did it today. I do have my 2DS, and I went and I popped on there, and there was one particular game that I wanted to make sure I got a hold of, because the physical version, in order to get the physical version, I would have to drop $500 to $800, and I'm not doing that. And that is Fire Emblem Fates Revelations.
Okay.
So, brief history, years and years ago, like 10-ish years ago or more, they did Fire Emblem Fates, and it was Fire Emblem Fates Birthright and then Conquest. But they also had a special edition, which had a special cartridge, which had Conquest, Birthright, and the third bit, Revelations, which is the conclusion of the story. Mm-hmm. So the only way to play that was to either get the special edition, which had all 3 games on the cart, or get one of the games and then buy the other 2 as digital content and download it. So guess what you can't do anymore once the eShop closes in about a year. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and took care of that. And I went ahead and grabbed a couple of Wario Land games for the Game Boy and a couple of Mario and Luigi, like Superstar Saga and something else. So the other 3DS titles, I'm not in a hurry. That I'll see them eventually, you know. But yeah, that's about the only reactionary that I actually did, because I actually like Fire Emblem, and I want to eventually play the entire story.
Okay. A while back, I was before this announcement, I went ahead and got everything I want in the 64 family. So I got my Super Mario 64. I got Star Fox 64. Shout out to you. F-Zero X. I got that. I think those were the most important GameCube games that I personally wanted. I mean,
you got Paper Mario.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We talked about it. Yeah, I got Paper Mario on there. And I didn't get Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask on there. I don't know if Majora's Mask is on there, but I know Ocarina of Time was on there. And only because now, like, there's better versions of Majora's Mask, which I still have not played Majora's Mask to this day. I never played it.
Neither have I. But it just dropped on the N64 Switch Online.
Yeah, so there's an option there for anybody, because the 64 games are now over there. But I don't want to. I know I'm not going to be able to take advantage of the online as of yet. Maybe when Mario Kart 8 comes out, maybe I'll consider it. But still, I have to pay extra to play those games. But with that being said, I think I'm pretty good on the 64 front. If I had to buy any Wii games on there, I haven't really poked too far in to see which ones I want. Maybe I'll get like Wario Shake It just to give that a try, because those games are looking about like I think $20 each.
Yeah. And let some of the panic die down. Although the panic's going to die down this year and then ramp back up next year. Mm-hmm. Prices are going to spike. But yeah, Wario World or Wario Land Shake It. Hell, for a time you could walk into the pawn shop or thrift store and find that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. And then the DS. Don't think there's any DS games on there that I can think of that I don't have. Like, that's a good opportunity if you want to play like the Advance Wars. Oh, well, there might be the Fire Emblem remake that I might get on there. There is a Fire Emblem remake of the one with Marth. Shadow Dragon. That's the one. Yeah. I might pick that up for the Wii U, but that's probably it on my part. So
I might try Castlevania Adventure Rebirth. I heard that was actually pretty fun. The Castlevania, the Game Boy game redone.
Is that... Oh, yeah, you're right. It's not in the collection?
No.
Okay.
No. The original Game Boy game is, but not the remake. Like, there are a lot of really cool WiiWare and DSware games that you may not be able to get anymore. Like the Wii, I didn't know because I wasn't in the know at the time. But when they shut that eShop down, there were a ton of WiiWare and just other console games like Neo Geo and TurboGrafx 16 games that can't get anymore unless you have, hundreds and hundreds of dollars now, or a really good computer.
Yeah. So when PlayStation decided to shut it down, it got a big backlash and they decided to keep it open, right? For Nintendo, it's, that's your problem, not ours problem mentality. I guess my question for you is that, do we think Nintendo has something planned for these games and people like us are jumping the gun? Or do we really think that they have no solution to this and they just don't want to keep it up because of money?
Well, let's look at it this way. Let's look at history. Let history be the guide. The Wii and its eShop closed. If you didn't port your stuff over to the Wii U when you did, tough luck. It's trapped on the Wii, or you just don't have it at all. And even then, you still had, for some games, you had to pay $1 to get the Wii U version of it.
Okay.
You could still play it on the Wii if you went to the little Wii app, but if you wanted to play on the Wii U, you had to pay $1 to upcycle or upscale or whatever. Mm-hmm. So there's that. There's then the fact that the DSware, the DSi store, closed. They didn't bring that stuff forward. The fact that they are really, really slow or lackadaisical as far as bringing not the the common new stuff. They'll always bring that forward. But the obscure stuff, they are really bad at that. So going off of that, that would be nice if they slid a virtual console that connected with the eShop and brought that stuff through. That would be a wonderful surprise. Announce it at E3, get a lot of goodwill back, but it's not going to happen. And the reason why, and the difference between Nintendo and PlayStation or even Xbox, is because Nintendo knows they've captured everybody's wonder. They don't have to do that. Sony still has some input from the US. Nintendo has a little bit of input, but for the most part, the execs in Japan run that. And they like looking forward, not backwards. Thing is, they like bringing stuff from the back forwards, and you pay again. Mm-hmm. How many times have people bought Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario 64? They're going to continue they're going to continue that. So I will say that is one argument the physical zealots, the physical only zealots have in their favor, is that Nintendo tends to just say, deal with it. And people deal with it. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, bad news. By the way, dangling Zelda 2. Hey, bad news. By the way, let's dangle some Kirby. And people forget. So
mm-hmm. I'm going to play the optimistic card. And I'm going to say that I think some of their original stuff will come in a different form. Either a collection or something kind of polished up. I think, honestly, that Fire Emblem Awaken, I think that is going to get a remake on the Switch.
A remake, not a remaster.
No, because I say remake because I don't think they're going to do a dual screen game on the Switch. So it has to be a remake to me. Okay. In some shape or form. Only because the anniversary of that game that make it or break that series, right? That was the game's faith, which is funny because the next game is called Fate, right? So I feel like that now that is no longer access for 3DS. I think that's planning to come back in some shape or form. I can't speak for the other Fire Emblems, but maybe those Fire Emblems might come in a collection like the Game Boy Advance ones. They could be,
ooh, yeah.
They could come in a little
collection.
They can come in a collection, or they can sell them one by one. We saw a demo. We saw a sample of that of the limited time Fire Emblem for the NES. They could do that for the Game Boy Advances. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I think it's a smart idea.
The Radiance collection for Fire Emblem, because the GameCube one is incredibly expensive, and the Wii version, the sequel on the Wii, is getting up there in price. They could easily do a collection for that too.
They could, especially Fire Emblem is definitely, it's not going anywhere now. I mean, it's popular as ever. So, so they can strike that while the iron's hot. I mean, do we really need it? Three Hopes? No, but they know that name alone is going to sell really well.
Three Houses.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're kicking ass in Three Houses.
No, I know. No. The Warriors game is called Three Hopes.
Oh, the new Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
Yeah. I'm saying like no one asked for it. No one asked for it. I don't think anybody wanted a Warriors game of that, but it will sell well because of the name. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. No, you're right. Retract it.
Yeah. So with that being said, I think that this is Fire Emblem season for them to really kind of put that up top. The whole rumor of the trilogy of Metroid. There's a possibility that might still be coming something. Or maybe just people make it up. I don't know. It's a possibility. Metroid Prime 4 is still a long way away. There could be something there. It could be. There is still some classic games on there that could come back on that Switch, and they're probably maybe working on it as we know it. I don't know. But now the other digital games from different developers, I don't have an answer for those. I don't know what's going to happen to those made on the 3DS only, and they don't have any way of porting it over. Now, I guess they're going to have to leave it to them. Like, hey, you're going to have to port that over there, or, or not. I don't know. But for everybody, I guess, if you don't think this is going to happen, then you might as well go ahead and just buy what you need before it's too difficult for you to get anyway. I like Fire Emblem, but I have a 3DS, but I know that the digital on there is still expensive, and I don't want to pay for that. I think that something else is coming along, and I'm going to hold on to my hope of it in some shape or form. Because who knows? Maybe the expansion might fulfill people's dream of DS games being on there. We don't know. We really don't know. We don't know how far they're going to go and how much they're going to charge for that as the time goes. As also on top of that, could they be saving up this idea for maybe later down the road of the successor for the Switch, which we know that might be 4 or 5 years down the line based on what I believe they said this is only halfway in their lifespan. I don't know. But I know that we gamers always jump on the hype train of panicness, the FOMO, when something's about to disappear and shut down. And I understand that because I'm a victim of that too. Because I know there's certain games where, like, I know that game is nowhere popular. I got to buy that now. And that was the same thing with PlayStation. There was a lot of PlayStation games on there. They were like, those are not popular anymore. I need to get them now. Like Suikoden. Like any Konami game is a now get it as soon as you can because they're probably never going to come back.
RPGs in the PS1 and PS2 era. You know, that's a crapshoot if any of them will come back. You know, I still hold a torch for Lunar to get a remaster. You know, a remake would be nice, but a remaster would be just fine. Not that there's no way I can play it. It's just that I want more people to experience it because it was a really fun, overlooked game. But yeah, and yeah, there is a lot of FOMO, but I think a lot of the gripes also come from the area of Nintendo is really slipshod in preserving a lot of their games. And like you said yourself, like hundreds and hundreds of games that'll just be lost or be locked to those systems, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way because Nintendo straight up said, we have no plans to whatever, you know? And if you have to replace your 3DS or your Wii U, the shit's locked to that system. You might not be able to get it back.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's a shame that we are gamers that hate that they get upset when we find different ways to get copies of it, but yet they are not doing any way of a solution to prevent us from doing it the illegal way, right? Like they're against ROMs, which, I mean, it's their property. They can do whatever they want. But at the same time, it's almost like you can't blame them because you're not doing anything about it. Like I think people's dream idea is a Nintendo Game Pass of the retro collection of games. I think that's what everybody wants. But Nintendo, but I think for Nintendo is like, well, if you keep rebuying these classic games, why do we need to do a Game Pass kind of setup like that? You know?
Exactly. It's like we're not incentivizing them to give us a better option. They're saying, hey, you know, they are one consumer unfriendly decision away from saying, we're doing NFTs now and we know you'll buy it, you know? So that's why Nintendo's kind of got people a little pissed off. I don't know. I understand the anger. I don't understand the absolute outrage. I'm kind of in the middle there. I'm more like barely irritated, but you know, my life's not over.
If you are watching us live or watching us on YouTube, of course, leave a comment down below and tell us what games that you bought on the 3DS or the Wii U eShop, and let us know. Are you going to get any other games? Or are you going to wait and see what happens? Kind of moment. Are you FOMO or are you not FOMO?
FOMO. I love that word.
Yeah.